Hello, everyone. Welcome back to A Community for All of Us. Today, with my wonderful host, we have Lord Starscream in the middle. We also have Solus44, and today we're going to be talking about the Transformers movie. And then on top of that, I think we're going to show some things off. But before we get started, how's everybody's day going? Well, what about you, Lord Starscream? How's your day been?
My day's going good. Finally got my Studio Series Sentinel Prime in. Didn't get the Bumblebee in today, but that's fine. Everything's going good.
You still don't have that Bumblebee?
No, not yet.
I don't either anymore. I don't. The wife got it. It's gone. It's not going to ever be in my collection ever. So, what about you, Solomon? How's your day been?
Good. Just staying home, relaxing.
Nice. You got anything new or interesting that's coming to your collection?
Maybe it just shipped out. So.
Oh, did it?
Or so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. And thank you, Solomon, for saying welcome to everybody in the chat. I appreciate that. Thanks for that help with that.
Yeah.
Hey, Firebite. The other thing too is some of the new figures that I did get is I ended up getting Sentinel Prime. I got the Bumblebee Jeep, and I've got a mind fart right now. What was the third one that you sent to me, Lord Starscream?
Just today?
No, the other day. I can't remember what the third figure because Shatter. I got her in with the plane mode. She's beautiful.
Do you mean Scrapper?
No, not Scrapper. Shatter.
I sent you
Bumblebee.
I sent you. Oh, sorry. I sent you Scrapper also.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but that's not beautiful. What's beautiful is the Fembot. So he's okay looking, but I won't judge. But
yeah.
So with that, so we did have some homework, which we're going to get into in just about a second. But before we do, guys, is there any news that y'all have come across? Because y'all two keep up with that better than I do. Lord Starscream, is there anything that you've learned that's going to be coming out that you're really hyped about?
Yes, indeed. I'm excited for the new. I think it's MP11 Masterpiece Movie 1 Ratchet.
Oh, really? You got any pictures you can show? I'll make your screen. And this is also going to be for a podcast. And I'll, if you want to be a part of it, for right now, it's on Autocraft Primer on YouTube. I'm hoping that we're going to kind of like do a rotation. That'll be one on Solomus and one on Lord Starscreams, and then we'll have like a rotation so they're not all just on my channel. So we'll probably do that. But I'm very interested because I'm going to make his screen bigger so y'all can see what we're talking about. Let's do that for the audience that's here. Hey, Eddie, welcome. There we go, my man. You're up. You're in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a picture of him in his robot mode.
Okay. Question, Bob, just looking at the robot. Sorry, keep that up for one moment.
Okay, let me hold my arms. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Next time I'm going to learn how I can screencast so that we don't have to do this. But I like the gun. I like the saw in the arms. That looks very much like he did in the movies. That looks really good. And I think you were telling me his head does something. What is it that his head does?
Well, let me see if I can find that picture. His mouth can open like the Masterpiece Ironhide.
Oh, so you can actually... Oh, wow. So for you stop motion people out there, that's actually really cool because it'll make his mouth look like he's talking. I like that. That's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sweet. And he doesn't look like he's got the big backpack like the Ratchet from the movie.
Here's a picture
That's
of his
beautiful. I love that vehicle.
Yeah.
Love it. It's awesome. All right.
There's his gun.
I like how they did that. That it attaches and his wrist goes down and it's like right on top of it.
Yeah.
And he's got articulation fingers too. Isn't that right, Solomus?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lord Starscream. Mind fart again. It's been nice.
Yeah, it's articulate fingers. There's his buzzsaw. And let me see if I could find. He also has missiles that you could give him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here's a picture of his fingers.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Let me see if I could go on TFW 2005 and see if I could find a picture of his back.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to see what Solus has got going on. What anything new that you've seen that you've been really excited about?
Well, for third-party news, so X-Transbots, they posted this on their Facebook page. They're going to be showing off their Dr. Egg, which would be their Quintesson box art soon.
Really? That's going to be nice.
They've been working on it. And then they also said they were going to be replacement faces for the Berserkers and their Gravestone, which would be the Stunnicon. So they're adding new faces into the fight mode.
Oh.
And then their Springer should be actually released in the second half of 2020.
Nice.
Which has been teased for ages. And then their Cup should be, there's going to be an update soon for him. And then also Alien Attack, they just showed off their Gundog, which is a MPM, the Last Night Hound. They were the ones who did Farage from the Dino from the Dark of the Moon, and then Last Night Optimus Prime. So they're doing Hound.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. And then King Toys, they just showed off their Land Bull. It's their stylist version of Tantrum from the third-party one, the new one that just showed off their Razor. The Rampage just released. They showed off the Robot, Beast, and Combine mode for their Tantrum.
Very nice.
And also, Fans Toys is going to re-release their Cup right now. Is releasing their Cup.
I like Cup. I might have to look at that. It's nice that we're getting a lot of the third-party stuff coming out. I do want to mention the thing in chat that Skybike was saying when you were doing this. Says the MP and that stuff's generally outside my price range. I get you totally. I'm right there with you. But they do look great. Have QC issues, not to mention the fact I dislike complex transformations that aren't fun. A lot of people feel that way too. Yes, that's the box art. I've been looking at the MP Jazz. Don't really collect movie bots, but I'm thinking about oh, that's cool. Jazz is a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
And his price. Hang on. Okay. His price right now he's available for pre-order. He'll come out October 1st of this year, and his price is $119.99.
Yeah, and that will be completely out of my price range. What about do they have release dates for the new stuff coming out for the third party or the re-release stuff? Have they set dates for those yet?
Doesn't look like, but it looks like they also Studio Shop, they just showed off their Unicron head and wings because the core body is separate and then the wings and the head is separate.
Oh, okay.
So they just showed that part off there. And then pictures of the Big Firebird Niece, which is their third-party stylist version of RC. More of a samurai version.
Okay.
And 3A just showed pictures of their Jet Power Optimus Prime. So the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime combined with Jetfire parts. So they're doing that figure. And then the parts might be removable armor.
Oh. Now, see in the chat.
You can remove the Jetfire parts.
Oh, cool. I do see in the chat where Eddie is saying that he believes the Cup is already sold out. Really? Well, I guess I'll have to wait and see if anybody does any cancels on their orders. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Solmus.
Yeah, good. Perfect Effects just showed off their Dark Warrior, which is their Nemesis Prime off their Prime mold, their movie Prime mold. So there will be a Nemesis Prime out. Nice. And then Magic Square showed off pictures of their Soundwave. It comes with Rumble and one of the little drones.
Oh, does it?
Which is going to be Legend Skull. Yeah, there were pictures of it. I just watched it.
That's cool. I'll do it.
And then New Age is teasing their G1 Soundwave on the way. It's just prototype images, but they're teasing it. So they're going to be working on G1 Soundwave.
Very nice.
So let's see.
Let's take a look real quick. So the back, well, is really compact, actually. More than, I'm actually surprised. That's kind of backpack I wish the actual figure had from the Studio series, but I can understand why it's masterpiece. Mm-hmm. So, out of any of this stuff, is there anything that's going to be?
There's a few more things.
Yeah, that's what I was going back. Thank you.
Yeah. Non-F just Productions, they showed their upgrade kit for the Earthrise Prime. So the trailer is going to have new back doors instead of the ramp it came with.
Okay.
And it's going to have some fender parts, so the little fender parts, and then the little side supports too, and a few other things too for their upgrade kit for the Earthrise Prime. And then different faces for the Thundercracker and Skywarp from Earthrise.
Okay.
So they're going to be different faces instead of same mold. And
Oh.
that's it.
That's pretty cool. So is there anything out of that you're really hoping is on your bucket list to get?
Well, the X-Transbots version, the X-Transbots trailer, which they did say there would be pictures soon of it. So,
and
I can combine all 5 into. No, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. That's why I was hoping you was going to mention, is because you got to wait for the trailer now to be able to combine all of them. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So that's awesome that they're finally, telling you, yeah, we've got the trailer coming. You since you own those, I kind of want to touch on this. Since you own those, how did you feel about having to wait this long for the trailer? Did it bother you?
No, they're just so that way we could wait, and then so that way it's all better, and then instead of worse. So that way everything is good before the final product, and then there's no bad issues that they have to fix.
That's a good point. I didn't think of it that way. That's actually a good point. See, I'm a type of person, I want to get it all together, and if I can, put it all together at once. Because, I just got a surprise that Nikki ordered and got me all the 3 Constructicons I was missing. So I will have the Studio Series Devastator pretty soon.
Lucky you.
I know. I got a great wife. Man, surprised me. Well, I was talking to Lord Starscream, and he was like, oh man, let me show you this. And he showed me. And that was the one. That's the other one that came in, because I did the pictures and put on Instagram where he's doing his in motion. My brain. Scrapper. Thank you. I got Scrapper in. He's an excellent figure. I really like him. I really do.
Yeah, I like him too.
So how many of you are looking to try? You guys, are y'all trying to get also like what I'm doing, trying to get the Studio Series complete of the Devastator?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm working on getting Devastator complete.
All right. Well, guys, like I always say, let me know which ones you already have, and if I come across a sale, I'll get one for y'all. Because that's why typically Nikki comes up with the sales. She paid like $20 for the Scrapper, and she paid like 40 something for one of them. I can't remember which one it is, but she had to pay full price for the last one because that was a pre-order.
Overload,
yeah. But with that, it's very nice that we kind of got this whole nice little blanket of Transformer stuff that we can all enjoy. Speaking of enjoyment, there was homework. I'm like a teacher again. I get to teach homework, and we get to have a quiz. Who's ready for the quiz, kids?
No.
What movie will it be?
Hey, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom.
I'm joking.
He just dumped the load right now. He's just like, oh God, I got to go. That's how I was on pop quizzes at school. But like, oh shoot, hey, teacher, stomach's upset. Gotta go. And then right on
to your hands.
So yeah. So speaking of that, we had a homework, which was for us to watch the first Transformers from the Bayverse Transformers. Right off the bat, without going into too much details, because I know we talked about we want to show off the figures and stuff like that, since we can't actually show the movie clips or show pictures of it because of YouTube. And Solmus came up with a great idea saying, hey, if we've got the figures, can't we just show the figures off and they can see it that way? And I was like, crap, that's an excellent idea. That's awesome. So we got that going on right off the bat. Did you enjoy the movie as much as you did the first time you saw it?
Yes. Makes me cry on certain parts too.
Really? Okay, we'll get into that. Keep that. Okay. I will be honest. I was surprised. That I enjoyed it again as much as I did, because when I haven't watched that movie since The Last Knight came out. And since The Last Knight came out, I kind of put my Bayverse movies off to the side and never will ever own The Last Knight, because that was like the jump of the shark for me. But I didn't realize how much that last movie took my passion of the studio, the passion of the Bayverse away. And so I'll be honest, I already watched the first 3, so I'm ahead. But it was like,
little.
But it was like, you needed that. You're like, my scene and I'm going to go ahead and show off the figure because I'm going to go with this one first. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to transform him today because I was supposed to transform this bad boy, but I got roped into mowing grass. It's not fun, but I had to. But seeing him show up for the very first time, and you get that transform moment, I got goosebumps. I rewound the DVD and rewatched it to the point where Nikki was like, "Honey, that's enough. Stop. Let the movie keep playing." I was like, "But you don't get it." She's like, "I get it. Did y'all have a moment like that? Go ahead, Lord Starscream first.
Yeah, I did. And like, it got you emotional and all that watching that part?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, the part that gets me emotional every time is like when all the Autobots land on Earth and they scan their vehicle modes, and Bumblebee drives up in the alleyway, and they get out. Sam and Michaela get out of the car, and when you see Optimus Prime coming through the fog and the lights are on, and the other Autobots are coming from the back.
Yeah.
And when they pull over and they start transforming, I just started getting a little emotional. Like,
yeah,
I almost wanted to cry.
You know, I have heard that all the movement and all that stuff during that transformation was just too long. I totally disagree with that. After rewatching it, you needed that moment. You needed that moment that this is Optimus Prime. You know, this is prime time. Yeah.
Ratchet, Ironhide, Jazz, Bumblebee, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Solomus? Did you have
a transformation part once you see all of them land and then transform right there in front of them and then introduce themselves for that one scene?
So, and I love that because here's a moment that I compare this to, and this is something that I was talking to Nikki about. Y'all two, this was like your, in a way, y'all's G1. This was your introduction to Transformers, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the old man of the group. I get my walker and I'll go out other places. But for me, seeing this moment and hearing y'all share this with me, it reminds me of the moment that you see the 1984 Transformers movie and you see Optimus Prime dies. That moment, you know, seared into my consciousness as a kid. And I love the fact for a new generation of Transformer fans, what sears in y'all's mind is the transformation of those guys as soon as you see the Autobots. And it's like they redeemed everything. In my eyes, it kind of everything that I felt about Optimus and all the other stuff, and I enjoy the cartoons and stuff, but that spark kind of was dull. And seeing that moment and hearing y'all talk about it, it rejuvenates it. Why do you think that just stands out to y'all? We'll go with Solomus on this one, then we'll go back to you, Lord Starscream.
All right.
Because it was something different, like you haven't seen it before. Like this was my first introduction, so something new, a little bit different.
And you, Lord Starscream?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Did immediately after you see this, did it make you want to go get the figures themselves?
Well, like during my first time watching it?
Yeah.
Well, I was 7 years old when the first film came out, and my family, or my sister and my nieces and nephew, took me to go watch it. I never even heard of Transformers before, but after watching it, I got into it right there. Like, I enjoyed the film. It was good. I ended up getting Transformers Energon after that on DVD.
That's good. And Eddie has said just ordered the Devastator. Oh, see, Eddie's like from my generation. It's like hard to get used to the new look. I agree. When I first saw the Autobots and I saw Optimus, I was like, well, he's not a flatbed truck. Okay. But at the same time, my nieces were like eyes wide open, and, you know, and I'm watching it as their reaction. And for me to see their reaction made me realize this is a new generation that's getting to have the same feel. Might not be my Transformers. It might not be the way I think they should look. I think the Bumblebee movie made up for that for us G1 people. But at the same time, taking a look at that and have that moment in which just captivates an audience, like a child, an individual, and you relate to it immediately. Was there anything else in the movie that kind of grabbed you like that? Lord Starscream first.
Another emotional part and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, okay, when all the Autobots find the location of the cube and Bumblebee is driving, going to Mission City and all that, and there's a part when Bumblebee drives right by the Autobots and they all just slam on their brakes and start to skid around, and the song they have the 2007 Transformers theme playing. Like, that part almost hits me every time.
Yeah. What about you, Solmus?
Just the moment when you see them arrive and then transform in front of them.
That's and now we're going to get into a little bit of talk about the Transformers. Now, I did find some hiccups along the way rewatching it. I like what Eddie said. Hey, Transformers relevant again. Hey, TFN Geek, glad you could join us. Now, for me, here was the thing that kind of stood out to me. Now, we all have our figures, and Brawn. We call him. No, Brawn. Brawl. Excuse me. A little bit. I've got him all over my tongue. I just, he was called Devastator.
Yeah, in the movie.
Yeah. And immediately for a G1er like I am, and a big Devastator, one of my favorite combiners, I was like, that dude ain't Devastator. And then he gets punked out shortly after he makes his appearance. What was it? Did y'all catch anything that to you was like, oh, or you looked at the art or the computer graphics and go, well, I can see where it's lagging compared to technology today. Was there anything in the movie that caught you where it wasn't that you caught the plot holes, if you will? Lord Starscream first.
Something that hasn't been seen before?
No. Did you find anything like there was something faulty, like for him the name being called the one name when you know that that's not his real name? Did y'all catch anything that stood out that you're like they could have done this differently?
Not that I caught.
What about you, Solus?
No.
Because the reason why I was asking is that with me, where I got to sit back at it, and Solus is doing stuff for acting. I did see that there was certain scenes that did feel rushed, but when you have the moment that Jazz gets really punked out, we don't see, and he's supposed to be the weapon specialist for the Autobots, and he immediately gets taken out. Just like what you're showing right there, Lord Starscream. He is taken out. To me, that was problematic because I'm thinking if he is the second in command and he is supposed to be as good, if he's going to be a second command next to Prom, should he been able to be killed that quickly and that easily?
I feel like me personally, I wish they didn't kill him off in the movie. And I hate to bring this up, but since the actor that plays Jazz, I can't remember his name, but I really hate bringing this up every time. But since he was, like I said, I'm sorry I can't remember his name, and sorry for saying this, but since he was voiced by a black guy and all that stuff, I just want to point this out. He was the first Autobot to go.
Yes, yeah, he was.
He was like a horror film. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a horror film. The black guy goes first, and I hate saying that. And
yeah,
well, no, I mean you're right. I mean,
he did not run. He decided to have the balls to go up against Megatron, and he just going, "You want a piece of me? You want a piece? No, I want two." He didn't care.
He did. And then when you talk about Megatron, seeing him show up, and he's in the jet mode, and he flies in, and as you can see, if you're on with our live thing, you get to see the actual figures. When he shows up and transforms, automatically every Decepticon falls in line. It's like even Optimus Prime and the Autobots all take a step back and say, "Oh, he's no longer frozen. He's no longer, he's now in the midst of the fight." And to see Jazz didn't back down to him I felt that showed the heroics of Jazz. And in all honesty, if you really go back and look at it, even though Jazz gets punked out and gets killed, it's his moment he does that you have Sam doesn't get killed by Megatron. If it was not that split second of a time, we would have had a different story because Sam would have been dead.
He was distracting him.
What do y'all think about the human aspect in the movies? Do you think we should have it, or like some people are asking for it being taken out of it? So let's start first.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Every Transformers series did have the humans different ones, but sometimes they didn't. Like Cyberverse, you haven't seen humans working with the Autobots in the current show, and then different ones. It just depends. Because like in the movies, the Bayverse ones, the humans did help the Autobots take down a few Decepticons in the movies.
That's true. They did. I always had wished that the military was actually the G.I. Joe. I really do. But yeah, I got a text. That's my freaky text going off. Sorry about that. Let me cut this off. Oh, wait a second. Okay. But
yeah, you sure you don't have a girl screaming in your basement?
I know, right? No. Nikki's like, I want to take a short nap. I don't want to bother you. I'm like, well, I didn't know what you were doing right now. I'm doing this thing, so go right ahead. She surprised me. She brought me Pizza Hut pizza home. I was like, what? So yes, that's what I had before we started. Pizza Hut pizza. That's why I was also saying I'm busy trying to get going. But okay, the human aspect. Yes, the humans do. During the movie, later on in the movies, they do come in. How do you feel about that, Lord Starscream? And then I'll give you my take.
Like what Solomon said, I do agree. Like, if it wasn't for the humans, I'm sure the Autobots wouldn't have won. Like, the humans did play a big part. Like, the military and all that helping take down Blackout. Like, all right, for an example, if the humans weren't there, Blackout was right there with his helicopter blade getting ready to sneak up behind Optimus while Megatron and Optimus were fighting. And if Lennox, if I got his name right, didn't intervene, I'm sure Prime would have bit the dust right there, and there would have been a whole different story right there.
You're so close, but yet so far behind. But that's all right. Shh. Don't let him talk bad about you. You're still my number one. That's a good point. I do see where a lot of the message boards where they talk about, I wish it didn't have the human aspect to it. And I've always said this, and my nieces and Nikki all give me a hard time. It's like, if you're going to try and combat in a war, are you going to contact the roaches to help you out in that war? No, you're just going to step on the cockroaches because they're in your way. That's how I always felt the human aspect to a point. So when I saw Megatron have no qualms killing a human and in the least, I was like, that's Megatron. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Now in the movie we have the Allspark. Okay, so let's talk about that, because typically we dealt with the Matrix. If you look at and then a lot of the nuances that we get of Transformers is a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here, and then it's kind of like meshed together for the new generations. Do you think that Sam should have been the one to take out Megatron?
You go first, Solomon. I want to think on this one.
Well, he did when he used the Allspark on him instead of giving it to Prime, and then Megatron instead with legs.
And so that does make it where it was relevant to have the humans in that moment. Sam was smart enough to say, what happens if I actually just give it to him?
Yeah, that's true. Because real quick, on the Transformers 2007 video game, this didn't happen, but there's two different endings, an Autobot ending and a Decepticon ending. And I'm sure this was going through Sam's head. He's like, okay, if I give it to Prime, Megatron's going to win this fight. If I don't give it to Megatron, we're all going to,
So you're thinking that Sam took a gamble? Because I mean, when I'm going back looking at it, I'm going, did Sam really know what the Allspark would have done to Megatron? I mean, that was the thing that was playing out in my head. Did he know? And something that my wife pointed out to me, and I'm going to throw this out there to y'all too. Nikki said that whenever he kind of got that downloaded the stuff into his mind from his grandfather's glasses, that it must have sparked something inside his memory to do it that way. Do y'all think that could fit into the scenario?
Like on what he thought, like he didn't think it would have destroyed Megatron or something like that.
Well, that he did, by giving it to him, knew that it was going to be too much power for Megatron. Maybe because because everything is in Sam's mind with the glasses. And then later on, we see this in the movies where Sam is dealing, we're going to some of the movies coming up that we'll talk about that has to deal with that aspect of it. With this movie, if this was, going to be done in a way, and this was like the only time this Transformer movie was ever made, none of the others were made, would this movie be good enough for you?
Well, to be honest, I was 7 years old at the time when the movie came out. I enjoyed it. Like, this was my first introduction to Transformers. I never even heard of it. I was watching Godzilla and Ninja Turtles and all that back then. I never even heard of Transformers until I saw the first film. I enjoyed it.
What about you, Solomon? Dealing with the story arc of this, did this feel like a nice bookend? Like you could have this as your only movie, like a cult classic. It's just the one. Did that solidify it with you for the franchise or for the Transformers?
Yeah, it did, because they defeated the bad guys and then saved the world. So
that's true. Eddie brings up a great point. I'm glad he did. We had, he says, was it a coincidence that Sam stumbled upon Bumblebee, or did Sam would find him that bugged him? And that's a good point. You got Bumblebees at a car dealership, and you have him there. And why did Bumblebee, out of all the people, why did Bumblebee first move the other car and destroy the cars, so that'd be the only car that Sam would walk away with? And was there automatically something that Bumblebee knew that Sam had that brought them together? That's a good point. I did not think about that. But yeah, what do y'all think?
Well, Sam originally, whenever he got to the car dealership, he originally wanted this car right here. But I think his name was Bernie, the black guy. He said that that car wasn't supposed to be there and all that, and it wasn't, and the custom was faded and all that, and rusting and all that, and he offered the Beetle to him. And if I'm not mistaken, according to what I heard, the reason why, like, the whole idea with Bumblebee slamming the door into the bug was like Michael's Bay way of saying, I hate the Beetle. That was his way of saying it.
Honestly, I guess that's an interesting point of it. Take to it that way. And you are right. Bumblebee was not supposed to be there. So this is a question I've always had, and I still didn't get this question answered even when I watched the movie again. Was Bumblebee already on the path to finding Sam, and that's why he shows up there?
Well, there was a little animation like that came with the DVD back then. I'm not sure if you've seen that. It's kind of like a little comic DVD, if you know what I mean. Bumblebee was on Earth for quite some time, like doing the research and all that stuff. And I think originally he was trying to find Sam's dad, but whenever he went to the place, the whole place was run down and all that stuff. So he was tracking down the glasses and all that stuff, and he knew who had them.
Okay, because JJ points up in the comments just now, says, they were looking for Sam. Oh, okay, that's true. They were. I forgot that. When you have this interaction, and then you find out that there's more than meets the eye with Bumblebee, and you're seeing the movie as it's unfolding. What was your thoughts about when Barricade showed up?
I enjoyed Barricade. Like he was awesome. Like I like the part where he was trying to interrogate Sam before Bumblebee showed up. Are you usernames Ladiesman217? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you usernames Ladiesman217? I enjoyed that. Barricade was cool, but Bumblebee got the upper hand on him, and he came back later for a split second on the highway scene. Like there's a part where he's on the freeway, Bone Crusher, or he's right behind Bone Crusher. He transforms. You never see him again.
What about you, Solomon? How did you feel about Barricade coming in?
It was different. So that way you would see a Decepticon interrogating the human instead of the Autobots, and that's when saved him. Well, saved Sam or a few, and then they fought.
The one thing that stood out to me, and I kind of want to touch on this, and I don't want to go into political or stuff like that. The problem that I saw with Barricade was the fact he was a police car, and he was a Devastator. He was a Decepticon, which was a bad guy. Because when I saw it, I was thinking, "Oh man, this is going to be Prowl." This is Prowl. Maybe there's a little confusion between the two, and then I saw it was Punish and Serve. And the Decepticon, so I was like, "Holy crap! This is a Decepticon as a police car." Did that have any bearing on your take of the characters? Did it blur the lines, saying that Decepticons are so deceptive they can even emulate human, what we should consider peacekeepers vehicles? Or do you think that? Just tell me, what did y'all think about Barricade being a police car?
Well, the time I was watching, I didn't have a problem with it. Like I guess him being a police car and all that stuff, I guess that suits his interrogation of Sam, like good cop, bad cop. But he was playing the bad cop, interrogating Sam.
Okay, what do you think, Solomon?
It was different because he was trying to be like the good cop and bad cop routine. He was obviously being the bad cop, and then Sam was being the good cop.
He was the prisoner.
Well, and the only reason why I bring it up, is because you have to sometimes look at the pink elephant in the room. Right now, we're able to have this live stream. We all live on different parts of the United States, but yet we are having a time in which our nation has not seen in a long time. People who are rightly upset to what we saw that was a horrid act. To me it kind of like rang something within me. I was like, I see it, I get it. It's he might look like he should be a protect and serve, but sometimes that is the deception, is that it doesn't always turn out that way, and that's what we're dealing with in our nation. But a lot of people have always said, especially the older generation, has always said that, did you realize that all the Decepticons were police officers or they were military? And that was always like a bad taste in a lot of the G1 guys' mouths about the Bayverse, because typically, but then again, you go back and you take a look at the G1 cartoon, you've got fighter jets, which are the Seekers. So it hasn't really changed that much. But it did speak to me this time. I mean, I'm not going to get too much into it, but seeing it that way, I was like, that's an interesting take. It's to sit there and say, yeah, you've got to pay attention to your surroundings. You've got to, stand for what's right and do what's right. And I like the fact that the movie portrayed Barricade that way. Like you said, the bad cop. B ends up being the good cop.
Real quick, sorry to cut you off. And also, like, Barricade being the police officer, let me put it like this. Like, Barricade being the police officer, he's the bad guy. And Ratchet being the ambulance, he's the good guy. He's supposed to take care of humans and all that kind of thing. And also, there are dirty cops out there, like cops that actually do things that the other cops wouldn't know, kind of thing, like a rogue cop.
Yeah, well, I mean, Eddie points out just now, and I want Solomon to talk also, but His sister says the police had more things at his disposal to find Sam. That's true. I did not.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. That's great. Like a light going off in my head.
Mhm.
What do you think? Was there any moments like that you looked at it and you seeing it this time around, you kind of looked at it and go, okay, why did the movie go that direction? And welcome, Alpha.
Scenes through the movie, and then also Jay did say it was actually supposed to be Prowl, and then they changed him to Barricade.
Didn't know that. That's cool.
I didn't know that either.
Said that a few minutes ago.
And the cool thing is, though, is that Barricade was just like I think it was like a Type Master originally. I think it was a G1, and it wasn't until this one here that we have Barricade. In a way, this is like Bay's creation, and we get him in the Siege the same way, and I think that's really cool that this is carried over there.
Real quick, I'm not sure if anyone caught this, but after me watching reviews on Transformers Devastation, correct me if I'm wrong, there was a Constructicon named Bone Crusher, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, there you go. Bone Crusher was in the film, but not a Constructicon. I had to try to remember that. But he was a military mine-sweeping truck, because he has the Minesweeper on there.
All right.
That's right. I just want to make the pull down. Give me a second, guys.
Yeah.
Here we go. And this is the one we're talking about.
Yeah. Bone Crusher used to be a Constructicon, but instead they have him as a military vehicle that sweeps mines out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his first appearance is on an army base, rolling out.
That's right. It is. So now we're at the point where you're talking about Bone Crusher shows up. That means we're now on the bridge, and we're at the moment in which you got the Decepticons chasing after the Autobots. Did anything in that scene there make you go, oh, what? You first, Solomon. I'm curious.
It was a different take. Like, they were obviously fighting in a few scenes, but they were on them, and then that's when one of the humans realized, and then they were on them, so he said to form up so that way they didn't get to the Allspark when they were driving in B, and then everyone else was defending him while he was trying to get away with the Allspark with Sam and Michaela inside, while the other Autobots were moving in a different formation. So then you would see Barricade and Bone Crusher moving different formations, and then you would see Bone Crusher transform, and then Prime fights him a few seconds later.
Yeah.
What about you, Starscream?
Yeah, I agree too. I never caught that myself.
I will share something that did bother me with that scene.
Okay.
All the cars that got destroyed. Did the people inside those things survive?
Probably not. If they did, they were heavily injured and they needed to be rushed to the hospital if an ambulance got to them in time.
That stood out to me big time because I was like, holy crap, they're jumping over cars, they're throwing cars, they're blowing cars up, they're sawing them in two.
And crashing through a bus.
Yeah, what's happened to the kids and the people that was on the road? Those cars weren't driving by themselves.
Well, according to the bio from 2007, Bone Crusher, I can't remember the whole bio, but it said in the bio that he hated everything, and even Optimus Prime. He hated everything. Like, I think in the comics also, he hated everything too.
Yeah, well,
And it did prove a line. He said, I hate you, before he got stabbed in the throat. Why I hate you? Yeah.
That was when I was cheering. Cut his head off, Optimus. Cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that always stood out to me. And when I saw that, and typically in our minds as kids, we never saw Optimus actually kill somebody, in the cartoon, And then you see this movie, and for you guys, this is the first time you've seen an Optimus Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he jabs his sword through this guy's head and then rips him apart. It's no joke. I will kill you. And I was like, holy crap, Optimus, chill. You need to have a decaf, man. What's up? But it made sense. What did you think about Optimus not hesitating? Because to us, or to me, Optimus was always about the Sentinel beings. Every sentient being had a right to live. But when you see this scene take place, you recognize to me, when I saw it, that was not my Optimus that I grew up with. We have a worn, torn Optimus Prime. How did that make y'all feel? Were y'all okay with that, or was that any shock feelings to that?
Well, like what you said, like what Optimus Prime said, he said that every being has the right to live, or something like that. Mm-hmm. Well, there's the protectors of life, and there's the ones that threaten life and want to destroy life. And he wanted to destroy life. He was on the bad guy side. And I mean, what are you going to do with him? Like, he's going to do what it takes to get the Allspark and to kill everyone. He was the threat. Like, Prime it's his duty to protect life and protect the humans and all that stuff. But Bone Crusher was the threat of life.
Yeah.
And we're coming to our last couple of minutes. I'm going to let Solmus go ahead and share your thoughts, because I want you to be the last one to have the speech. So I'm going to turn it over to you, because I'm kind of curious what you say here.
It reminded me of Nemesis Prime, because Nemesis Prime would be obviously different of Optimus just like killing, and then Prime wouldn't. So it was it reminded me of a different version of Optimus instead of him killing them.
Yes.
You may just redeem the Last Night a little bit for me there, because he was Nemesis Prime in the Last Night. So
yeah,
as a Transformer fan, I'm going to let you end on what your passion is, and then I'm going to let you carry us on out.
It was the engineering in a figure, because obviously these studio series, they have a bunch of different engineering for like the different repaints, remolds, like the accessories, the detail, how they were in the cartoon or the movie.
Very cool. Nice. Well, guys, we are at the end. Solmus, you want to carry us out? Tell everybody where they can find you and all this good stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
You can find me here on YouTube. You can find me here on YouTube as Solmus44, under Solmus space 44 for the Transformer reviews, and then Solmus44 on gaming for YouTube, where I do the gameplay and other videos, stuff like that, and Solmus44 for Twitch.
All right, Lord Starscream, where can they find you? What are you going to be doing?
Well, you could find me on YouTube at Lord Starscream. I plan on to do some live streams on there if I could get it all figured out and all that, and I'll try to do some Transformers reviews when I get all set up and ready. And you can find me on Instagram at Lord Starscream, and you can find me on TikTok at Lord Starscream. And I do have a Twitch, but I plan on doing some live streams. You can find me at Lord Starscream, and my first live stream might end up being Transformers Devastation for PS3 when I get it. And I think that's it.
And you can also, Lord Starscream, whenever he sees that I'm actually on Twitch, he hits me up and says, "Hey, are you busy?" It's like, "No, I'm just playing a game." So he comes in, and you'll actually hear him talking in the background as we have our conversations as I'm playing. Right now, I'm playing the game Roz on Twitch. Again, that's Autocrat Primer. You also can check me out on TikTok, Autocrat Primer. You can also check out our website, which will have all the stuff for this here and people's links to their channels. Nikki's almost done with that, which is on bitterteamedia.com. And I think that's it. You can also still find me here. But it's been a good time. I appreciate these guys hanging out, and check out their stuff. They're awesome, great guys. And I do plan to do a live stream later this week, and will be throwing the link in the description for everybody who can make it first, gets to jump in. and we can have like a, that. Also, I think too, we've been discussing about guests. We were supposed to have a guest tonight. I didn't get to hear back from him. I think he got busy, but I reached back out with him, so hopefully he'll get back in touch with me. But yeah, I think Solomon, you were saying something about how you want us to do the guest thing. You want to tell them where they can get the guest stuff set up?
Well, we were just saying who we should have like for a certain week, and then for like the guest, and obviously the outro stuff.
And you can send things at give me a second. I know the website. A community for all of us at gmail.com. You can hit up Solomus and his chats and set things up that way. Also on Discord. You can also do the same thing with Lord Starscream. Do that. We'll make things happen and we'll roll with it. So I think that's about it. Is that about it? I think we're done. Are we done? Oh my God, I think we're done. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for being on here. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. And really check this out. We do have a podcast. It's on Anchor, Apple, the whole 9 yards, all podcasts, which is a community for all of us. And that will be up hopefully later tonight. I will be able to convert everything today, and it'll be up later tonight, so you can check that on there. So I think that's it, guys. I think we're done. All right. Adios, amigos. I'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
And we're out. Now, we got that awkward moment, that moment where the song